All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Barca fans around the world. How are we doing today? Champions League draw is out. Barcelona got a pretty easy group, and meanwhile, PSG are in the group of death. It's fine. I'm not laughing about it, but I am. But I totally am. So we're going to talk about the Champions League draw. We're going to talk about the upcoming match against Getafe, and then we've got, 3 days left to sort out our salary cap and get the players that we need to off the books. Meanwhile, pretty much every big name in Europe is moving somewhere this year or next year. Mbappe going to Madrid, Ronaldo going to City. This is wild. Big names everywhere. It seems like almost every player is available if your club has cash, which we do not. So we'll talk about all of those things and more. And of course, I want to hear what you think about the new thumbnail. So let me know. Good morning to you all. Let's get this party started.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
All right. So, folks, first of all, a good morning. Second of all, what do you think about the new thumbnail? I still might update my picture a little bit. But what I wanted to do there with the Wake Up and Barca thumbnail was separate me from the background so I could pop out a little bit. I wanted to adjust the color settings on the picture because for whatever reason, whenever I upload stuff to... I need to blow my nose before I get on camera. Whenever I upload stuff to YouTube, for whatever reason, it changes the tint just a little bit. Just a little bit. Makes it a little bit more red. So I looked quite red in the original Wake Up in Barca thumbnail. So I want to change that. And then I also want to change the logo at the top there. While I thought it was kind of fun and cute to have the coffee in the sun, it's like, well, this isn't a coffee show. You know what I mean? So let's make sure that we have a thumbnail that represents what's actually going on for the show. So that's why you see Barcelona now. So hopefully the click-through impression rate will go up a little bit, and we'll get some new viewers. You know, we'll see what happens. Vipula, I appreciate the compliment. Thrawn, how we doing, sir? Ooh, that's too hot to drink. Excuse me. A little Americano. Went with the double this morning, folks, because why not? It wasn't intentional. It's just you have 1 cup for single and 1 cup for double. I grabbed the double. I went, why not? It was an accident, but a happy accident. So here we are. Good morning to you all. Where do you guys want to start? Do you want to start off with Ronaldo going to Man City, perhaps? What do we think about that? First of all, I know Man City is not Man United's biggest rival, right? Historically, Leeds and Liverpool, I believe, are their 2 biggest rivals. But it's Man City's probably their biggest current rival, right? And so for Ronaldo, a historic Red Devil who was rumored to go back to United at times. Did I have it set at 5:15? Hang on. Pause what I'm talking about. Let me see here. Go live. Did I not have this scheduled properly? It is what it is. We're live now, baby. I knew there was one coming up, and maybe that was this one. Maybe that was the mistake. There was one coming up that was scheduled that I did not have the right time for. Whoops. But it is what it is. So yeah, Ronaldo going to City. That is that's the current state of football in the world. You know what I mean? There's no loyalty. There's no sense of personal pride, I guess. Like if I'm Ronaldo, I would never play for City. I would never play for Liverpool. I would never play for Leeds. I would never play for Barcelona. Those are probably the clubs that I would never play for. Because if I'm Ronaldo, I consider myself a Red Devil and a Madrista. And so I would never play for any of their rivals. But I don't know. There's going to be a lot of Manchester United fans burning Ronaldo jerseys. Now, listen, it's not like he went from Man United to Man City. listen, it almost feels more, you know what it feels like? It feels more like when Frank Lampard went to City. Everybody knew it's not like Frank Lampard had his heart in it. He was just there as a hired gun. So I think that's what you're going to see at Man City. I'm not saying he won't do well. I'm not saying he won't be successful. But I'm with FV on this one. I don't think he's definitely not thinking about the fans. Do I think Coleman can give somewhat challenge to Bayern in the Champions League group? Yeah, we can take on Bayern. You guys, you got to keep in mind, we still have a top 8. We'll say top 8. I think we are still in the top 8 in the world. Chelsea, Man City, Man United. Are we better than Liverpool? It'd be close. Liverpool would be close. Throw them in there. Bayern, PSG. We're better than Juventus. We're better than Inter. We're better than anybody in Italy. Who am I missing? There's 6 clubs. I think we're better than Real Madrid until they get Mbappe. Once they get Mbappe, there's 7. So who am I missing? If I'm trying to name the top 8 there, I think Barcelona falls right in the top 8. Right? Who am I missing? Am I missing anybody for this? Levi, good morning. Levi rolls out of bed. F Man City. Oh, I love it, Levi. Good morning, buddy. Ronaldo clearly said that he will not play for City in 2015. Lies. Somebody get Maury in here because the results are in and the results say that's a lie. Bayern is also not the Bayern that they used to be. Lewandowski also could move somewhere. Lewandowski said he's looking for new challenges. I actually thought it was going to be Lewandowski to Man City and maybe Ronaldo to PSG. Would have been every FIFA fan's wet dream. Do you think we can win Europa League this season? Levi, that's not nice. That's not nice at all. Are you assuming that we're going to get knocked out of Champions League group stage and have to go for the Europa League? Do you think Mbappe to Real Madrid and Haaland to Barcelona can revive the El Clasico? I do. I'll say there's a 20% chance. 20% chance that by next year Barcelona figure out their finances, because you got to keep in mind we just let fans back in the stadium. That's going to be a big chunk of change. Plus, we have a year to figure stuff out. So let's say some miracle happens. We get our finances in order enough so that our salary cap is not an issue. Mbappe is at Real Madrid. Haaland is looking at his options of where he wants to go, and he's looking at the potential of reigniting the Barcelona-Real Madrid rivalry from the Messi-Ronaldo era. Why not? Why not? Barcelona will need a number 9. Who knows? I said it before. There's players who grow up watching clubs like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Man United, and they're just like, I got to get there one day. Whatever happens in my career, I got to get there one day. You're seeing it with Mbappe right now in Real Madrid. Mbappe said it's my life's dream to play for Real Madrid. So it's not even a question. Barcelona could offer Mbappe the moon. But if it's your life dream to play for a club, that's what's going to happen. So we need to find the guys like that. And is that Haaland? I don't know. Maybe. We shall see. Who is Chad? How you doing, Cules? Good morning. What else we got? Of course, they have a new manager. Also, we have a good chance to beat them. Let's have some faith. We probably are getting second in the group, which means we're getting a top dog team in the knockouts. Not necessarily. Let's start there. Friends. All right. Let's get into UCL. Draw. We want, let's see, Champions League. We want to do a screen share. Yay. All right. So let's take a look, my friends. All right, let's go group by group. First of all, Group A, Group of Death. I think we can all agree with that. Man City, Paris, a very dangerous Leipzig against a Club Brugge who listen, they're gonna get chewed up. They're gonna get chewed up hard. I think we all know that. But if they can even just get a point against one of those big dogs, the Man City or PSG, that's really gonna open things up. And how funny would it be, friends? How funny would it be if PSG got knocked out of the group stage and had to go into Europa League in their first year with Messi, Neymar, Di Maria all reunited? I'm not saying that yes, I do. I do want that. I was about to say you know what? I don't know if I want to say I do want that. Messi, I love you, but you're not here anymore. You don't play for Barcelona. You play for PSG now, and I want you to lose. As much as I love you, as much as it will tarnish your legacy to just be eating shit at another club, I want you to lose. I love you, but I want you to lose. So that's what I think is going to happen. Over in Group B, another tough one, to be honest. Atletico, Liverpool, Porto, Milan. Not quite the level of competition you're going to see with Man City and PSG in Group A, but all of those clubs are pretty close to each other in terms of their skill level and capabilities. Atletico, Liverpool, Porto, Milan. I think obviously Porto could be an easy choice for fourth, but they have a much better chance at playing spoiler than Club Brugge does in Group A. It's very possible. Cules, that's aggressive, but I hear you, brother, and I love you. That's hilarious. So that's what we're looking at for Group B. That's what I'm thinking. Is Chad in here? Or are we just hoping Chad just feels that in the ether? Anyway, Group C. Sporting, Dortmund, Ajax, Besiktas. That's going to be a cakewalk for Dortmund. I think Ajax also sneak in there. Levi asks, am I going to the wedding tomorrow? What wedding are you talking about? Grim, good morning, sir. Liverpool's group has like 16 at Champions League between them. 16 Champions League. Okay. Porto swept Juventus, so they have a chance to top the group. I wouldn't say top the group. I think they can be a surprise. I don't know about topping the group. That's a big ask. You're saying Group B is the group of death? How do you not say Man City, Paris, and Leipzig? Leipzig are, I would say, yes, an underdog, but you can't write them off by any means. Nice. Thanks, Cash, and good morning to you, good sir. I know you can't hear this, but I am wishing you a good morning. Group D, that's going to be a pretty easy one. We got Inter, Real Madrid. They're going to top the group. Then we got Shakhtar, and then who the hell is Sheriff? It's probably Sharif, FC Sharif. In my hometown, we just call that Sheriff. And actually, their thing is a badge. So are they FC Sheriff? That's awesome. Good for them. Group E. This is where it falls for Barcelona, and we are going to see Bayern again. I feel like we play Bayern in Champions League like every year now. That's what I feel like. The McNeil wedding, Levi, you know what? I think my invite must have gotten lost in the mail. So aside from Bayern, Benfica and Dynamo Kiev, we can handle them. We can handle them, no problem. And you know what? You know what else, folks? We owe Bayern Munich. We do. We got stomped 8-2 last time that we played them. We have to face them again. We have to show that we are not that club anymore. That even though Lionel Messi left, that the dark days are over. And that we can still play exciting football. And that, you know what? That we can beat them. We can totally beat Bayern. I feel very confident in that. Very confident. Sheriff sounds American. Yeah, I mean, no none of the words that we speak are actually American words. They're all taken from other languages. But I'll tell you what, once they cross that border, they become American. Any words that come over to the red, white, and blue, they become American the day that they cross that border. If an American speaks it, it's an American word. That's how it goes in this country. These colors don't run. Anyway, so I think, you know what? I'm going Barcelona top of the group, Bayern second. Benfica will drop down to Europa League. Group F, actually also not that easy of a group. Villarreal, Man United, Atalanta could play spoilers. I would assume it's going to be Man United and Villarreal, but Atalanta, you can't write them off. Sorry, back to the screen share. Group G. Guys, this one's pretty tight too. None of these guys are going to win Champions League, but in terms of like a sub group of death, Lille, Sevilla, Salzburg, and Wolfsburg all have a chance of going through. None of those teams are written off. So that's what I consider a group of death, right? When you look at a table and you can easily pick out the top two that are going to move on, that can't be a group of death. There has to be a third, if not a fourth, right? There has to be three teams that can definitely go through and a fourth that can play spoiler. Those are my qualifications for a group of death. Wait, is there a problem with the mic? There shouldn't be a problem with the mic. I think Kyle was just saying he can't hear me because he's in class. So that's on Kyle's. I'm assuming everybody else can still hear me. Anyway, so if going by the criteria of three teams that can move through and fourth that can be at least a spoiler, Group A is actually looking less. I will concede Group B is probably the group of death, but then Group G as well. Lille, Sevilla, Salzburg, Wolfsburg can all make it through. By the way, we have 11 or 12 Americans in Champions League this year. Very exciting. Group H is pretty easy. Chelsea, Juve, Zenit, Malmo. I would actually argue that Dortmund probably have the easiest group. Dortmund, Madrid, we got a pretty easy group too. Yeah, it's split. So A, B, G are pretty tough. F is in the middle. E, D, H are pretty easy. I think C might be the easiest there. So what do you think? Are we going to top the group? Are we going to get second? Is there going to be a disaster and we don't make it through some way, somehow? It sounds like World War I. Okay, it's fine now. What is going on? If the audio is bad, you guys got to let me know. I need to do a little bit more testing probably too. I've been messing with the settings a little bit, so I know it sounds different, like if I'm holding it up here versus if it's out here. So I'm trying to get it so that the microphone doesn't have to be right in my face like this, but I'd rather have it somewhere right around here. But I'm also not an audio technician, so I'm just making this shit up as we go along, folks. Making it up as we go along. So give me two predictions. One, who do you think is going to win Champions League this year? And two, who is going to be the surprise team that doesn't make it in to the knockout rounds? That's what I'm looking for. I'll go back to the screen share here. So two things. One, who is going to win Champions League? And two, what big club isn't going to make it out of the group stage? I'm going to say, damn, hate to admit it, it might be Liverpool that doesn't make it out of Group B. That might be the upset this year. I want it to be PSG not making it out of Group A. That would be fantastic. When I move the mic, it starts to sound like World War I. Yeah, I think that's pretty logical. I think Liverpool go out. If I had to pick a big club, if I'm going to hope for a big club to go out, it's going to be PSG. In terms of who I think is going to win it, that is a tough one. You know what, though? This could be Dortmund's year. It might be. with Haaland, with Reina, with the exciting midfield that they have. It could come down to coaching, but I mean, give me a reason why Dortmund couldn't win. I'm going to go huge underdog and say Dortmund win Champions League this year. What do you think about that one, folks? Right? I think Liverpool maybe drop out. That's the big likely upset. And if I had to pick an underdog to win it this year, I'd say Dortmund. Moldova, sure. Grim going with the Chelsea repeat. That's a good shout. That's a good shout, my friend. I can't really argue against that. All right, shall we jump over to Should we jump over to preview prediction for Getafe? Is there anything else we want to talk about Champions League wise or transfer news wise? Pjanic is staying. Umtiti is staying. Umtiti is one thing because our center backs are dropping like flies. But for Pjanic to still be staying and for Pjanic to still be wearing the number 8 is just... That's how I feel. I just feel like this. Here, this is a live enactment of how I feel about Pjanic. Just that's my feelings on Pjanic. Greg says, I think Chelsea's again to win it. Their strong unit and adding Lukaku just makes them stronger. I actually think Lukaku is going to choke. I think Lukaku is not a big game player. I don't think he shows up against big clubs in big matches. And so for that reason, I think Chelsea are actually not going to repeat. Yeah, we can't sell players for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's because similar situation to when we had when Neymar was sold and we had all that money and very little time to buy somebody, and it was in a year when nobody was really available on the market. If we had the Neymar money this year, think of the players that we could buy. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so because we had a lot of money, very little time to buy players, and very few players on the market, clubs went, cool, pay me double for Dembele, pay me double for Coutinho. Similarly now, clubs know that we are desperate to unload players. So when we're saying, hey, give me $6 million for Pjanic, they're like, no, we'll take him for free. And we're like, okay, well, at least just fine, take him for free and pay his wages. And clubs are like, you're going to have to pay half of his wages too. It's a horrible place to negotiate from. Horrible, horrible place to negotiate from. It's looking like we're going to sell Mariba. It's looking like, what was it, $15 million from Chelsea? And you know what? That's fine. If he ends up being some mega star in the future, that is totally fine. For someone to be holding out on contract negotiations this year when everyone else at the club is either going to be sold or taking a salary cut or deferring their wages, for you to be like, pay me more money. I'm not going to sign another year. I'll sit out this year if I have to. Get out of here, bro. Out of here. You are not the type of person that we want at the club. That's first and foremost. Get out of here. So with that said, why don't we go ahead and take a look at some lineups for Sunday's match. So it's going to be 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Figure that out, whatever it is in your time zone. We got people all around the world here, folks. All around the world, statues crumble. All right, so 11 a.m. Getafe going to the camp now. First thing we got to do, we got to take care of graying out the injuries and suspensions. So just going down the list here. Ter Stegen actually might return. I know they're not going to release their squad for a couple more hours. So I'm going to gamble. I'm going to say Ter Stegen is back. He was reportedly back, or he was questionable, I'd say, for last week. didn't come through. So we're going to keep him for now. Garcia is suspended. Took one for the team. I was mad at him at first last week for getting that red card, but you know what? He sacrificed himself, got the red card, kept the point late for Barcelona, so we'll stay with him. PK, he's injured, hurt his calf. Ronald Koeman, going into the match last week, is like, oh, I don't know why everyone keeps asking about PK. It's no big deal. He doesn't have an injury, yada, yada, yada. And then he pulls up injured in the match. We have to sub him in the 30th minute. What's going on here? Mingueza, same story as Ter Stegen. Might be back, might not be back. I'm hoping he's going to be back. We're going to keep him in the lineup for right now. Who else is definitely out? I don't think Pjanic is going to be in the lineup. We're trying to move him, so he's not injured, he's not suspended, but he, and actually Umtiti as well, probably are not going to make the squad. Demir Coutinho, same thing. For some reason, I don't think Coutinho is going to be in the squad this week. He was fit, apparently. He was fit last week, but Coleman said, oh, he needs a little bit more time to settle in. What does that mean? What does that even mean? We need players. Speaking of needing players, Pedri, he's on vacation, so he's not going to be playing. He's taking a 2-week holiday, as they say in Europa. De Jong was also questionable. He did some solo training apart from the first team this week. So a little bit nervous about that, but we're going to keep him in the squad. Dembele injured. Ansu Fati did return to training this week, but he did not go full team for the full training session. He did some on his own and some with the team, so he's not going to be in the lineup yet. And then, of course, Aguero, who may never actually play for Barcelona. He's injured until October. So all those folks, unavailable for right now. So what does that leave us with for a lineup? Well, if Ter Stegen is available for this one, and reports are saying that he should be, then Ter Stegen's going to be in goal. You know that. If he's available, he's our guy. Number one, arguably best keeper in the world. And I know people would love to argue against that. But I'm going Ter Stegen if he is available. Now to the center backs. We got limited options. Umtiti might make the squad. I might be wrong about that. Maybe he makes the squad, even though he's been an outcast, even though I think everybody's mad at him for not taking salary cuts and not going to a different club and yada, yada, yada. He might make the squad, but he's not going to make the starting lineup. If you look at who's available, I think Araujo definitely gets his start. Coming in for PK last week, he was fantastic. Could not ask for a better performance from the substitute. Now it comes down to Langley or Mingueza, because both are actually coming off an injury. Langley has been still in the squad, but he was not actually available. I think it was a bit of a ruse just to have him there on the bench if we really needed him. But he's also been nursing an injury. Mingueza is coming back from an injury. So between the two of them, I'm going Langley. Araujo and Langley. And you know what? Maybe this will be a turnaround match for Langley. Maybe he comes out and has an amazing performance, similar to what we saw in the first year and a half of him being at the club. Last year, some of it was poor performance, some of it was bad luck. Combined all together, a lot of people hate Langley right now. I'm not on that board. I'm going to still support him. Fresh start this year. Let's get Langley in for his first start. He's going to be accompanied by, of course, Serginho Dest, who cannot get 90 minutes to save his life. He keeps getting substituted around sometime in the 60th to 70th minute, and then Emerson comes on. Emerson did have a better performance last week against Athletic, as opposed to the first week where he came on and got scored on pretty much right away, just not paying attention. Backdoor goal. Anyway, left back is going to be Alba. I am curious how long it's going to take before we see Dest at left back and Emerson at right back. I would suppose that we need to get Emerson a little bit more time on the pitch, a little bit more time playing with the starting 11 before we rely on that. But that's probably what we're looking at. Old faithful, old reliable, Sergi Busquets. He is going to be in the midfield. This is not going to work out for us deep into Champions League. I'm not saying that it's going to be all Busquets' fault when we ultimately do get knocked out of Champions League, but if we do not figure out some other midfield combination that doesn't leave Busquets by himself covering counterattacks, then we're not going anywhere, folks. Then we're not going anywhere. But in the meantime, you know him, you love him. Number 5 in the programs, number 1 in your hearts, Sergi Busquets holding down that midfield. Next to him, I am hoping that De Jong is going to be fit. He's going to be healthy. He's going to be ready. Like I said, he did some individual training this week. That usually means that you're nursing some injuries, but I think he gets the start right next to Sergi Busquets. Now, with Pedri on holiday, he's going to be unavailable. My feelings are one thing, and we'll do this. This is Ronald Koeman's lineup, and then what we'll do next will be the changes that I would like to see. Okay, so if I'm predicting what Ronald Koeman is going to do, he's going Sergio Roberto. He's going to stick him on that right-hand side. He's going to hope that Sergio Roberto gives Dest a little bit more defensive cover to push forward, get up that wing, take on the defenders, and hopefully Sergio Roberto will be able to recover if and when Sergiño Dest loses the ball and gets caught upfield. So that's what I'm thinking for the back line into the midfield. Let me know what you think so far. Levi, it's not going to be Ricky Puig, man. I would love to see it. But I don't think it's going to be him. Then, again, this is Ronald Koeman's lineup, and then I'll tell you what I would go with here next. Front 3, we're not seeing any changes, folks. Despite his horrible miss that could have gotten us 3 points and honestly completely changed how that match played out, Goatwait still gets the start because we got limited options. As you can see, in terms of forwards, we got limited options. Depay is going to play that false 9. He's going to be our outlet. Some rumors that he also had an injury. You saw after he scored a goal in last week's match, he grabbed his foot. Wasn't a lot of celebrating there. So who knows what happened with that one. But no reports of him missing training. No reports of him suspected to be out. It's just something that we picked up on here during this week. Right-hand side, we did see Demir come off the bench last week. Did not like what I saw. He looked nervy. He looked overwhelmed. He looked like he was not ready for that situation. So he's not getting a start. It is going to be the Frenchman, Griezmann, who was very quiet against Athletic last week. Very quiet indeed. So I'm hoping that he'll have a better performance, a more impactful performance. Not just better. It's not like he did anything wrong. He just didn't really do anything. So that is the lineup that I think Ronald Koeman is going to go with. That's what I think you're going to see Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on the Undefeated channel. Come hang out with me. We'll do a live watch along. I'll provide the commentary. The chat will be going. It'll be a good time. Before we get into that, folks, because it's days away, let me tell you what I would do with this lineup. First of all, Sergi Busquets. I love you, bro. I love you. But I would take out Sergi Busquets. I would slide Frankie de Jong right in there, and I would put Ricky Puig in there. That's what I would do with this lineup. I think that's the only changes that I would make based off of who's available. I would love to have Dembele or Fati or Aguero available to me, and obviously Pedri would slide in. For this weekend, this is what I would go with. I'd love to be surprised and have Coutinho pop in there. That would be a nice little gift. Dude, Levi, you know why. You're here most mornings. You know my thoughts on Busquets. I love him to death. But here, I'll act it out, okay? We'll take Puig off here. We'll get Busquets back in the midfield. So here's what happens, okay? We start out like this. I'm going to play this out. And as we get the ball, we start to push forward, right? Goatwait's going to work his way up here. Let's say Depay gets the ball. He plays it out to Goatwait. He starts to drift out left. Goatwait and Depay are playing with the ball right over here, right? Frankie de Jong starts pushing forward. He's going to find himself somewhere over here. Jordi Alba pushes all the way up left. So he's here now, overlapping Depay and Goatwait. Frankie de Jong's giving a little outlet here. Griezmann is pinching in. He's in the box, looking back post maybe. Sergio Roberto is up here. Dest is definitely all the way up there joining the attack. Araujo and Langley push forward up here. And then Sergi Busquets. This is going to make it a bit obvious. So this is not to scale, obviously. But this is what we end up looking like when we have the ball in the attacking half, okay? Now, when we lose the ball, if it gets past De Jong and Sergio Roberto in this line here, then Sergio Busquets has to cover all this space here. And he is not fast enough to do it, okay? Because he has to stay centrally. And if we lose the ball on this left side and they start bringing it up here and then they reverse it over to the right, Busquets has to come over here to try to shut it down. And then if they switch sides, he's not getting all the way back over here to cover the ball. And you see Serginho Dest is caught all the way upfield. So he's chasing back. Busquets is trying to chase this way, and it doesn't work out. If you take him out, you put Frankie de Jong in that role. You put anybody, Ricky Puig, up top there, okay? Now, when we lose the ball in the attack, you have Frankie de Jong covering all that space. That's what we need, folks. That is why Sergio Busquets, as much as I love him, is not going to carry us through Champions League. As I said, when we get knocked out of Champions League, it's not going to be all Busquets' fault, but that's the whole, okay? Everyone wants to say it's the defense's fault, it's the center backs. Sure, but when you're getting run at with numbers all match long, that is the end result of not being able to stop the counterattack in the midfield. So I love Sergio Busquets as much as anybody. But we got to move on, folks. That's all. Just got to move on. It's time. Anyway, what do you guys think about that explanation? I thought that was pretty good. Thought that was pretty dead on accurate. All right. I think that's just about it. I guess we can pop on just real quick. See if the lineup came out yet. Let's hop on Barcelona's squad real quick and just see if anything's changed. Sometimes they update the numbers on here. Nothing new, nothing new. Garcia still with the 24. God, Pjanic, get out of here, bro. No number for Coutinho. They took it off. He was 14. That's now staying with Manai. Oh, you guys, is he going to be number 10? I know that they said he's not going to be number 10, but they took it off. They took Coutinho's number off. Might be, dudes. Might be. Ray Manai was wearing the number 14. We shall see. We shall see. All right, folks. That is going to be it. We're going to hop on out of here. Leo, my voice is too low. I guess we've just been having volume problems. Volume problems today. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out for this weekend stream. It's going to be Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Wake up and Barca. Come hang out with me. That's what's up next. What else? What else? I think that's just about it. Just come hang out for the live match. It's going to be against Getafe, Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on the Undefeated channel. We'll have a good time. I appreciate you all starting the morning with me. Appreciate the conversation. And that's going to be it. Go out, have a wonderful day, have a wonderful weekend. I will see you on Sunday. Thanks for tuning in and taking a ride, my friends. Mwah.